Hi, welcome to the Andre Show, and I'm Andre. Come join us in the next half hour. Let's learn something together, right? That's the way you guys are playing. And so you have this regular life, and then come Andre, and that's what I'm talking about.
Wait, we may not want to eat it because we may not hour later.
It's Ken Snyder, and that's what I'm talking about.
Thanks for having me.
And you want to start thinking about running for office, so let's hear.
I'm Rick Leidenfrost-Wilson, and that's what I'm talking about.
Pretty much. I watch TV 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then I go back to bed. And my whole thinking changes.
I'm Rick Laban, and that's what I'm talking about.
Is it people that you, different practitioners that you can contact?
My mom. That's my mom right there. Which for me, we have the band with us, Acoustically Correct, with Matt and Rick, and they're gonna play a few songs for us.
Something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there telling me I got to beware. Think it's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds, getting so much resistance from behind. Think it's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and carrying signs, mostly saying hooray for our side. Think it's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Paranoia strikes deep into your life, it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid. Step out of line, the men come and take you away. Think it's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
That was great, guys. Welcome, Rick.
Thank you, Andre.
Welcome, Matt.
Thanks a lot, Andre.
Well, that was great. I really enjoyed it. So, how long you guys been doing it?
Matt and I have been playing together this time around for, it gets almost 3 years now. But we had played together back in high school, so a long time ago we had a band also.
Really? So how did it start? Like, how did it begin?
Well, you know, growing up in the 60s, I loved all the acoustic guitar music. It just was, you know, the thing I related to. And, you know, when I heard bands like Sounds of Silence, you know, the Simon and Garfunkel, and, you know, just about all the pop groups then had an acoustic guitar. And I just thought if I could do that, you know, play that guitar, that would be like the greatest thing in the world. And so, you know, I started about 10, 11 years old. I picked up a guitar, and once I knew 3 or 4 chords, forget it. I learned every song I could possibly play. Although I couldn't sing at all. Couldn't sing at all at first.
Well, you sing good now.
Yeah, it took me, that took me a little longer. It's about 20, 30 years later, I got the gist of the singing.
So it was a process.
Yeah, I picked up a guitar when I was about 15, and then I was in a heavy rock and roll band when I was 17 as a senior in high school, where I just sang. And it was a fun band. The stuff was kind of out of my comfort zone, but I still, you know, enjoyed being in that band a lot. It was funny because we had about 3 practices, knew 6 songs, and did a battle of the bands and won it.
Wow.
And when they called us back for an encore, because we had so few songs in our repertoire, we had to repeat a song. So that was fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what I love about it, I know, you know, Rick is a friend of mine. I got to know you too. You guys have like regular lives, and what inspired me to have you on the show was you have this regular life, but you guys play on the weekend. So what I love about it is you were still able to follow your dreams regardless which direction life turned.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well,
That's interesting.
you know, even going back to college, I had taken some music classes in college, but I knew right from the beginning that I would love music and it'd be part of my life and always be part of my life, but I wouldn't try to do it as a profession. It's just, for me, just not an easy way to make money. There's easier ways in business, so I pursued my career, but I kept the music going on the side. I've done various projects over the years.
Interesting. That's something.
Yeah, I had kind of stopped back in high school and was playing a little bit, but just by myself through college and stuff. And then after I got married the first time, I stopped playing pretty much altogether. And I didn't really pick it back up again until Rick asked me 3 years ago. And what was interesting about that is we picked a bunch of songs that we knew, so we were able to do our first gig with only 1 practice. I wasn't playing the guitar yet again. I guess it was about a year before I picked that up again and started really playing the guitar again. So for me it's a little different. I don't know that I ever really had the dream of doing this, but once we picked it up again, I really found that I enjoyed it, and now I really look forward to it all the time.
Excellent.
Yeah. I kind of talked him into it.
Yeah.
So I knew his talent from high school. I knew he could do it, and he had his doubts at first, but I kept, come on, you could do it, and it came together. You know, and we've just been adding more and more repertoire. I think we're up to, what did we count, 115 songs?
About 115
Wow.
songs, yeah.
And it's all 60s and 70s. We just love the, you know, that style. I mean, we could go beyond that, but it seems to be the theme of what we're doing now. So we stick with those. There's so many great songs from that period, and very few cover bands play many of these songs anymore. So, you know, we try to pick songs that aren't the typical, you know, songs that cover bands do. We do kind of, you know, unique selection of stuff, and the reaction to it has been great. People really enjoy it.
Yeah, I heard you guys. I watched you guys. It was really great. What I love about it is, so you have this regular life. It's really fascinating. And then, like, come Friday night, because I see you send out the email, right, to where you guys play. And so you have this regular life, and then comes Friday night, Saturday night, right? You put on, like, the Superman suit or the, right?
Yeah, it's just part of us, you know. We email through the week discussing a new repertoire or whatever, and then, you know, we call our friends, hey, we're playing Friday at, you know, such and such restaurant around, you know, all around Nassau County, mostly a little out in Suffolk. And, you know, we have friends come down all the time, and we just have a great time. It's just, it's something to look forward to.
Something look. Is it like a therapy kind of?
Yeah, I think so. You know, and the good thing about it is that we're as busy as we want to be, because obviously with our lives, we can't do this all the time. So we've been as busy as we've wanted to be, and we're finding that we're able to play pretty much, you know, keep the schedule to what it is that we want it to be. So that's very nice.
Wow, that's great. I enjoyed listening to you. Well, I'd like for you to play a couple of more songs. What do you say?
Okay, sure.
Every weekend
dancing spell my way. I promise to go under it. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy yet, there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I'll come fly with you.
So tell me, Rick, how do you make like a group of two sound like a whole big group?
Well, what I did, or what I decided to do a bunch of years ago, is I took my laptop and I got a program that that you could program just about any instruments on there, but I decided to limit it really to just drums and bass, and we would fill in the rest with the guitars and the voices. And I've worked with whole bands, and it's always more complex, getting everybody together for practices and learning repertoire. And when it's just the two of us, it keeps us more focused. And so we record the drums and the bass, and we learn the song pretty much exactly like the original, so we know how many measures of verse, chorus, and such, and we play it the same way. It kind of takes away a little from the improvisational aspect of performing, but it really gives it a full sound, and I really like it that way.
Yeah, to follow up what Rick said about taking away the improvisation, it's both liberating to have these tracks, but it also can be very limiting, because unless you're right on with the track can't adjust ever to what you're doing, whereas like live musicians can do that. So if you mess up, you mess up, and the track is just very unforgiving. And what's also interesting is we used to have pretty much a full acoustic set, and we filled in most of those songs we've added programs to, and even though they still have the acoustic feel, it starts to kind of move towards, an example of a song like that is Fire and Rain, which we used to do 100% acoustically.
Yeah, just one guitar, one acoustic guitar.
One acoustic guitar and me singing, and then we added the track to it, and it just sounds fantastic.
Yeah, and I love the creativity. Like, it just, what I love about the whole story is that here you have it, you guys, high school buddy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then years later get together and follow your dreams. You're still friends. You're following your dreams of playing together. And then, okay, the big band doesn't work. It's so hard to get together. So let's figure out a way to make it work. And you guys are doing it.
Yeah. And the one thing that really brought us together is our love for that style of music, from the 60s and 70s. It's just, a unique period of music where, there was styles of like the 30s and the 40s and 50s, and it all kind of came together in the 60s, where there was a touch of rebellion, there was a touch of creativity and new sounds, eclectic sounds from the Indian music, and a little touch of swing music, and and everybody and blues and rock and roll all came together, and everybody was drawing from all these different styles and creating really a new form of music that didn't exist prior to that time. And before there were electronic music and the drum beats that you hear in today's music, everyone really had to come up with their sounds acoustically. And there was a lot of creativity to that I think's lost in the music today. And it's just something beautiful about that period of music that I almost feel like it needs to be preserved, because not that many bands really follow in that tradition of music that are around today. And the one thing I love is when we play, it's nostalgic and all for people of our age to see it and they know the songs, but when we play in front of kids and kids see our music and really enjoy it and hear really the difference between what music of then sounded like and music of today, I love it when the kids say, wow, I like this. This is, I like this style of music. And it happens all the time. Kids, the one good thing is Rock Band. They hear it on Rock Band. Oh, I know that song, you know, from that. And
well, we were listening to it when we were kids, so why wouldn't they like it? I mean, so much of what made this kind of easy for me is that the songs that we chose, it kind of brought me back to the days when I was playing air guitar in my basement listening to Beatle records. Because I had an uncle who was in the business, and we got all the records, and I'm the youngest out of 5, and I just, you know, through my life, I basically know the words to pretty much every Beatles song, and you know, so to pick these up again and play them was relatively, you know, simple, because these songs, they're just so ingrained in my mind from the time I was a kid. So, you know, it just that's why we were able to do this with one practice, and you know, our first gig ever, and do a bunch of songs. So,
yeah. One of the most common comments people say is, "Oh, I haven't heard that song in years," and it just brings a smile to everyone's face, you know.
Yeah, and I happen to agree, because I had the pleasure of seeing you a couple of weeks ago, and you're right. There were younger people in the bar, and they were dancing, and it's a real, like, you really get to relax and, like you say, smile and enjoy. It's a great atmosphere. Yeah,
because
so
the music
right
can
on.
be either background music if you want it to be, but then you see the people who are really into it singing along and bopping, and so that gets the enjoyment. Though, even though, you know, sometimes people don't really look like they're paying attention, we know they are.
You see the heads going at the tables,
so you know that's what's going on.
But that's the best feeling, is, you know, when you get people to enjoy it, you know, like we feel like the catalyst to bring out that feeling in them, and you know, that's like the medicine of music, you know. So like you asked, is it therapy for us? Yeah, it's not only is it therapy for us to like get that feeling and get, you know, kind of you know, that escape into the music, but to see it happening, you know, in front of all the people we perform for, that's the real magic of it too. That adds to it.
Yeah, well, we're out for a night of live music too.
Exactly.
We just happen to be the ones playing it. So.
That's right. Everybody has fun.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite artist?
Oh God, that is a hard question. I like a lot of music, but you know, just about all the pop music from the 60s and 70s. It's funny, because back then I'd be shy of like saying I liked certain things, you know, more like the bubblegum kind of stuff. But I mean, going back to it now, just about everything we love. We play a couple of songs by Bread, and back then I was leaned towards more, you know, the harder sounding stuff. But going back to it now, I just love playing those songs, the sweet acoustic songs and the more heavy rock songs. It's all great. I like it all.
Yeah, but which artist?
Okay.
Like a name.
He's got to pick one, huh?
All right. Well, you know, I have a lot of stuff from beyond that period, but if I limit it to that period, well, obviously the Beatles. The Beatles is always right there. Simon and Garfunkel, and the Byrds, and you know, what else do I like? Matt knows better than I do.
You guys are like married. Or
Yeah,
something.
We were always
we talk music a lot.
A lot of
friends.
progressive stuff. And obviously the Beatles for me, but I grew up listening to bands like Yes and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and then got into some more obscure progressive stuff as time went on. So if I had to pick an artist now, I would say it's a guy named Richard Thompson, who started out in a band called Fairport Convention, and he's not very well known, but those that know him love him. So
yeah, and kind of an extension of the style we're
Yes,
talking about.
absolutely.
It's all acoustic
Yeah,
guitar,
a lot of
you know,
acoustic.
singer-songwriter.
You know.
That's the thing that, and you know, the lyrics in these songs are also so interesting. You know, they're just colorful. You know, they're like musical haikus. They just paint these pictures in your mind. The lyrics were just, you know, added to the beauty of the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to see the passion, you know, in you guys, the way you speak about it, and I see when you play, you know, the passion is there, and I think that's what makes for good artists, and that's how people connect to that passion.
Yeah, it definitely makes my blood flow, you know, and I think of it when I perform them and when I learn them and, you know, remember them. Just everything about it just gets me going. It's absolutely true.
And I'm excited you're going to play for us a couple of more songs?
We'd love to.
All right, thank you. And thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Right,
thank you, man.
Thanks for having us,
Appreciate it.
Andre.
Really enjoyed it.
I should have known better with a girl like you, that I would love everything that you do.
could only happen to me. Can't you see? Can't you see that when I tell you that I love you, oh, you're gonna say you love me too. Oh, and when I ask you to be mine, you're gonna say you love me too. So I should've realized a lot of things before. If this is love, you gotta give me more. Give me more. Hey, give me more. Could only happen to me. Can't you see? Can't you see that when I tell you that I love you, oh, you're gonna say you love me too. Oh, and when I ask you to be mine, you're gonna say you love me too. You love me too. You love me too. You love me too. Hello darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sounds of silence. In restless streams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold air. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light, split the night and touched the sounds of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without
just want to thank the guests today for coming down, and until the next time, thank you. And I'm Andrea Luciano, and that's what I'm talking about.
I'm Matt Crone from Acoustically Correct, and that's what I'm talking about.
I'm Ed Fitzpatrick, and that's what I'm talking about.
I'm Nadine, and that's what I'm talking about.
My name's Ken Snyder, and that's what I'm talking about.
County Legislator Dave Denenberg, and that's what I'm talking about.
I'm Rick Laban, and that's what I'm talking about.
Hi, I'm Corey Laban, and that's a wrap.